Savage Live Comedy Tour 2024, coming to a town near you soon. I'll be in Seattle, Washington, Los Angeles, Mexico, Canada. And I'm touring the entire countrywide state, all throughout the world and all the country, every country in the world I'll be touring in. And I'll be in your town tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. or a.m., whichever one you prefer. Here's my starting act. Here's my act of 2024. I haven't done live comedy in a bar in like 5 years, but here's a little act I put together just for you. Here we go. Yeah, we all know about Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Weinstein, and of course the notorious and also disgusting Berenstain Bears, that is. Berenstain Bears. What about when the trafficking hits a little bit too close to home? My own little brother was trafficked. I never saw him again. One day he just straight up disappeared when I was a boy. Never saw him or word from him ever again. Fast forward 15 years, I'm an adult man, I have a beard, I have neck hairs that grow out of the fucking scraggle of my fucking ball sack and fucking neck hair, idiot balls. And chin hairs and all these disgusting ear hairs that poke out and protrude out of my disgusting holes, my 7 holes that I have over my face covering of skin. Well, one day I look in the mirror and boom, in the background of the mirror, what do I see? Tied up, balled up, gouged up. My own little bro, who went missing 15 years ago. I turned around and said, "Little bro, what the hell are you doing here? Why are you tied up?" I took the duct tape off his mouth. He said, Don't you remember, idiot, retard, fag, idiot, gay-tarded idiot? You're the one who trafficked me." And I looked back in the mirror. I was an old man. I didn't even recognize myself in the mirror. Who was I? Who am I? Where are we going? Where are we now? What are we doing? It turned out all this time I was the one trafficking my own little brother for 15 years, and I didn't even know it? Question mark. I looked back in the mirror, back at myself, back at my brother, back in the mirror, back at me. Now I'm looking at you, right into your eyes. What's going on with you? Are you the one trafficking? What have you been up to lately? What are you doing with your time in your life? Why don't you actually think about that for once in your fucking life, you piece of... Never mind, it doesn't matter. I decided to check into the doctor. Something was obviously off about my mental health and well-being. "Hey, Doc." "What's up, Doc?" The doctor looked me up and down. I said, "Doc, I got a real problem. I think I'm some sort of a trafficker boy. But also, my personality's messed up. What's going on with me?" I told him about my brother's situation. The doctor looked me straight in the eyes. He said, "Don't worry. There's nothing wrong. You're not a trafficker." I said, "Well, then what am I?" He said, "Well, tell me more." And I said, "Okay. One day I wake up happy. One day I wake up sad. One day I wake up and I find out I've been trafficking my own little brother for 15 years. The doctor looked me up and down. He started shaking his head. He said, "My poor little boy, baby boy, bitch boy, barbecue back boy, bitch boy, beach boy. You have no idea what you are, do you?" And I said, "No, what am I?" And he said, "You're actually bipolar. You're a bipolar bitch, baby back, barbecue, bitch, baby, beach boy." I said, "Bipolar? What's that? Something a polar bear would do?" He said, "No, you gay-tarded idiot. Bipolar is you have different personalities and stuff." I said, "Don't you mean split personality?" And he said, "No, not a banana split personality. I'm talking bipolar, and we need to get you on a medication ASAP." I said, "Okay, sure." The doctor put me on 5 milligrams of lithium for about 5 years. 5 years later, I go back into the doctor. "I have a problem. My side hurts, my stomach area." I said, "Doctor, I have a problem. I got a sore stomach side." He takes a microscope needle, fag, idiot, retard, vaccine, gay, back, fucker, microscope needle. He injects me and looks inside of my stomach cells. And he also uses a stethoscope. Now, when he does this, he comes back, he's like, "There's nothing wrong with your stomach." And I said, "Oh, thank goodness." He says, "Actually, you have kidney renal failure from the lithium medicine I gave you for your bipolar disease 5 years ago." And he said, "Yes, that is one of the side effects." I said, "Oh, no, doctor, this is horrible." He said, "Yeah, it's definitely the lithium." I said, "Lithium? Ain't that the shit they put in batteries?" And, sorry, I said, "Lithium, ain't that the shit they put in balloons?" And he said, "No, that's helium." And he said, "This is lithium." And I said, "Ain't that the shit they put in batteries?" And he said, "Yes, they put it in battery." I said, "Ain't that shit I do to my wife every night?" He said, "No, that's battery and assault. That's different, Bugs." He calls me Bugs. My doctor calls me Bugs, by the way. I said, battery and assault. Ain't that the shit Israel's doing to Gaza right now? The doctor looked me up and down. He looked down at my chest. My nipples were pulsing and protruding. They were gouging at the seams, growing, escalating, enlarging, and gouging up pieces of milk, and sports and drops of milk were spewing from my little baby nips. They were spewing, gouging, lactating, ejaculating, ejacking, edging, all those things. My boobs were starting to grow bigger and bigger from the lithium bonus ball pills that I was getting every day, the hormones that were injected into my chest for the lithium medicine. The doctor took one look and he said, Gaza? I'd rather look at your gazangas. And he misheard me because I was talking about something else. I wasn't talking about I was talking about, that doesn't matter. He said, I'd rather talk about your gazangas, Bugs. And I said, oh my gosh, that's disgusting. My doctor's a sexual predator. He's sexually assaulting me, abusing me. He's mansplaining me. He's doctor-splaining to me. I ran out of the doctor's room as fast as I can. But I kept that doctor because he's a good doctor, and I still have that doctor to this day, and I didn't fire him at all. I never fired him, or he never quit on being my doctor, because that's the kind of man that he is. He's a hell of a doctor, a hell of a boss, and a hell of a doctor. But yesterday I had to fire my doctor. I had to fire him. I'll tell you why. I went into the doctor's office. I was cold with a sickness. I had a bad flu and a cold, and I even had a runny nose, and I had a cough, and even mucus drips were dripping out of my little nasal passages and stuff. I had a little baby sheep cough, stuff like that. My voice was hoarse, and not like the animal, of course. So I said, Doc, look, I'm all pale and blue. Get a clue. Can you help me out? Can you give me something to put away the flu? Can you give it to me? Can you give me it too? Can you just put it through? Can you give me just one little... The doctor looked at me. He said, cold and flu? I don't think so. He said, I got just the thing that'll make you feel way better. The COVID-19 vaccine. And I ran out of that doctor's office as fast as I could, and I fired him on the spot. I called him after I ran out of the office. I said, you're fired. He said, you can't fire me. I quit. I said, too bad. I already fired you first. I fired him, and I ran out as soon as you said that. And all this was a true, real story. None of this is fake. And that's the end of the act. God